And here we go. Welcome to TikTok Live. Have fun interacting with your viewers in real time. Creators must be 18 or older to go live. Well, I hope 55 counts as 18 or older. Remember to create a safe viewing environment by following our community guidelines, which means even though it's okay to swear, it's not okay to say bad things about our paid advertisers. Well, what else is new? Hi there, and you're just in time, folks, because the biscuits, or at least the rolls, are about to go into the oven. Yeah, I know, the title of this thing says Biscuits and Gravy. These may not be biscuits, but they are at least rolls. And anyway, the term biscuits and gravy is a lot more popular, I guess, than rolls and gravy. You just have to be sure not to burn them, so hopefully I'll remember to check this in about 10 minutes or so. Nonetheless, and that takes care of the biscuits part, so that means we have to start doing some sausages. And away we go. Yes, I cut up some sausages, so that way we will be able to break these up as we cook them. And we will have ourselves some nice sausage gravy to go with the biscuits. That is, once these sausages are done, that is. Something of a no-brainer supper, but hey, what's wrong with sausage gravy? Well, people who don't like pork, I suppose, that's what's wrong with it, but that's okay. It's Friday night, so. And hello to folks who have just joined. I know the whole thing about TikTok Live here is that everybody scrolls by and looks for something interesting. I hope you consider this to be interesting, because what we are not doing is arguing over politics or religion here on this live. There is more than enough of that going around 24/7 on TikTok Live, so figure the least we could do is offer folks something of an alternative. Because yeah, even on Christmas Day, I went on to TikTok Live, and that's all I saw. People arguing over politics and people arguing over religion. Frankly, I'm not especially religious, so it's not so. I'm not saying that, oh no, it's Christmas. They shouldn't be doing that. In general, they shouldn't be doing that anyway, because TikTok Live is, quite frankly, a wasteland. Almost none of the so-called debates, Pete's got away. Almost none of the so-called debates we see on TikTok Live are actually that. They're really just people shouting at each other until the host running it, gets tired and kicks people out. On the other hand, the people who go there are rarely going there to debate anyway. They're really just trying to troll more than anything else. I mean, heck, it's been 3 years since the infamous date of January 6, 2021. I'd say, quite frankly, most people's minds are made up about that day, and anybody arguing over that day is really just trolling more than anything else. But that's enough about that. Let's talk about some cast iron, shall we, and some sausage. Not getting as much liquid out of this, although we are getting some, as I would have liked. I guess that's what I get for using store-bought sausages. Nonetheless, this is a good cast iron pan. It's a modern cast iron pan, for that matter. It is a Field Company pan, which is made in the USA. In the past several years, there have been several small manufacturers. Hello, we're on TikTok Live, but that's okay. It's nice and casual. If you want to say hi to folks, or if you want to talk, feel free. No, thank you. Well, okay. No big deal. I'm just playing with my toys on TikTok Live again anyway. Do you have a TikTok account?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then you can look for my channel if you want. Yeah, but I'm not forcing you to. And hello to Jennifer Meacham. I can't pronounce it. Tony Ward, I guess. Hello, Mary. Hello. Well, again, hello to everybody who's been kind enough to join. But yeah, all I'm doing is cooking up some sausage to make into a gravy. It's a lot of sausage, actually. I think when the sausage is done, I'll just take some of it out and we'll have some sausage, as well as making sausage gravy. I'm sure you wouldn't mind that. Yeah, the only thing is, of course, you got to be sure the sausage is thoroughly cooked. Can't have undercooked sausage. But what was I saying? Oh, yes. In the past several years, several small companies have sprung up in the U.S., taking advantage of the resurgence in the popularity of cast iron cookware. And they have dedicated themselves to making some brand new, made in the USA, cast iron pans. This is one of them. This one is from the Field Company. And of course, there are a lot of other cast iron makers now, like Butter Pat, Finex, Stargazer, and quite a few others, actually. All of them are making their own cast iron skillets these days. All of them are selling at very, very high prices, but there is no alternative to that, so I'm not going to fault them for that. They are essentially making luxury cookware pans. Well, then why spend all that money on one of those pans when you can get yourself a large cast iron pan at Walmart for $20? Fair question. And the answer is, it's really just a matter of, I guess, taste more than anything else. Because, you know, you could say the same thing about, say, knives, for instance. Why should I bother spending $200 on a Henkel's, Shun, Global, or one of those really, really fancy chef's knives, or even one of those Japanese chef's knives that sell for $1,000 or more, when I can just as easily get a decent brand of chef's knife, again, at Walmart or even some other places, you know, restaurant supply stores. Why do it? Well, I suppose, one, we want quality. Two, well, yeah, there is, of course, the thrill of owning and using that luxury kitchen cookware. I mean, I think that's really what a lot of it comes down to. I mean, heck, what can you say about those hex-clad pans that they're hawking all the time here on TikTok? You know, we've got Gordon Ramsay starring in these commercials where he's paid to say nice things about hex-clad pans. And then if you go onto Hexclad's website and you look, and you can see that they're selling a set of those Hexclad pans for only, what is it now, $1,200? Yeah, that's all. I mean, earlier this year, they were actually having like a 50% off sale, where for only $600, you would get a set of Hexclad cookware. Well, they must be making a profit because, you know, they're still in business. So I can't answer the question of why people would spend all this money on stuff like a Field cast iron skillet like we have here. To be honest, this Field cast iron skillet was actually a gift and I didn't pay for it, which is one reason. Another, of course, is that we've just gotten past Christmas, where I have no doubt that some folks received some nice kitchenware. I don't know, there's always something special about the name. And again, the fact that you are indeed getting quality stuff. Keep this going for the moment, I guess. I could just cover this and just simply let it steam. But I think it might be more interesting for you folks on TikTok to actually see some action, such as it is. And hello to all you people who are scrolling by. I hope someone is kind enough to just, hold tight and watch for a few seconds. Maybe somebody might be interested. Besides, I hope this turns out to be some decent gravy. Oh, speaking of talking, I better check those biscuits. As I said, I want to be sure they're not overcooked. And they're not. Okay, I still have a few more minutes yet. Once again, this is a Feel cast iron skillet. Oh, by the way, you know how they all talk about cast iron pans should have a nice glass smooth surface? As a matter of fact, this one doesn't. Nope. There is actually a very, very fine grain or grit to the surface here. Much finer than sandpaper and much finer than what you get from lodge cast iron. So that it looks like it's smooth, but there's definitely, oh yeah, this thing is, what's more, it does seem to be sticking in some ways. Well, again, that's my fault for putting in without oil or anything like that. Nonetheless, this will all come up. When I make the gravy, I have no doubt there won't be any problem at all scraping these bits up. But yes, it's true that after they cast this pan, they do indeed grind it down to a nice smooth finish, but then they do add an extra step of, as I said, adding a very, very fine grit or layer of roughness or whatever you want to call it to the pan. And the main reason for that is so that the seasoning will stick. Because in fact, because even though there are some people on TikTok who have taken Lodge cast iron pans, sanded them down to a mirror finish, you never see what happens to those pans over time, do you? I mean, they look wonderful, but over time, it's not likely that the seasoning will stick, or at least it won't stick evenly. So there is that. I've had this pan for a few months now. And again, it's really more of a matter of making sure the sausage is thoroughly cooked more than anything else. Better check those biscuits again. You know, they can go, in an instant, they can go to burned. And no, we are still fine. I have them in the oven on the middle rack at 375. So I'm just washing them until they become properly browned. I have them in the oven, in fact, in a very thin and very old cast iron skillet. One that likely dates to about the 1850s. I'll show it to you once the rolls come out of the oven. Hello, everyone. More viewers. Well, thank you very much. Michael Nugent 35. Oh, no, oh, he shared it. Oh, well, thank you so much, Michael. Thank you. I guess, again, that's probably because we're not arguing about politics and religion. Or either or. Unfortunately, it seems like those topics seem to come together far too often these days. So I won't discuss it. Instead, I will discuss sausage. As I said, this is Italian sausage. I did buy it from the store, yes. These were sausages. I cut them open so that we actually do have the sausage skins mixed into this. Not that that matters. It's still tasty. And this is a 10-inch cast iron skillet, for the record, also known as a number 8 size. Even though they really haven't had stoves with number 8 size for, number 8 size holes or stove eyes for, what would you say, 60, 70, 80 years perhaps? Yet they kept the size numbers, and they still keep the size numbers even today. The bottom of this field skillet actually says size number 8. But I think that's more out of tradition than anything else. The Field Company in particular is really doing their best to try to be the modern day Griswold. Griswold, of course, was the name given to some of the most famous and luxurious cast iron pans ever made. They were made in Erie, Pennsylvania, until the 1960s. The Griswold pans are legendary. Oops, just dropped another piece. I'm going to have to grab that. Griswold commands a ridiculous price on eBay in general. If antique vendors see anything with the name Griswold, they don't even care what it is. It's a Griswold! And they stick it up for sale prominently, sporting a hefty price tag. A Griswold skillet of this size on eBay could go anywhere from $40 to $100, maybe $150, depending on the markings. In that respect, paying this much for a field skillet doesn't seem quite so crazy. Well, thank you for the likes as well. For the record, I am not asking for gifts. You do not have to spend money on this. Money's tight for everyone, especially after Christmas, especially before Christmas. We're probably getting to that point. Some of these sausage bits are getting nicely browned and crisp. I think we'll break out the old thermometer and see what we have. This part here says 138. And I don't know if it's accurate for the entire thing, but I'll just keep cooking so that in general, it's definitely done. From the looks of that, it might only be a few minutes. Better check those rolls again. Oh yeah, I'm glad I checked them. Just like that, I think they're done. Let me pop those rolls out. There we are. There we go. And this is done in a nice gate-marked, fancy-handled skillet, which unfortunately my glove is covering. But let me put this aside. Now, back to the sausage. Oh yeah. Once the sausage is cooked, we will make some gravy. Well, I think we'll eat some of the sausage. We just have to be sure the sausage is well done. Can turn off the oven now. There we go. Not the stovetop, the oven. I'm busy with this oven today anyway, seasoning cast iron. Over here, in fact, are 2 cast iron Dutch ovens that I've been seasoning today. In the back, in fact, is a Griswold Dutch oven. And this one here is by Birmingham Stove and Range, a company that went out of business in the 1990s, was rediscovered within the past 10 years by the internet, and so has become internet famous. Nonetheless, yeah, we're definitely getting to the point where we're getting nice crispy bits here. So once these larger bits are over 165, it'll be time for part 2 of this. And I'm hoping it won't be much longer at this point. Considering I'm getting some nice browning on these things, I'm betting it won't be much longer. Where did I put that thermometer? Oh, gee, I put it back. All right, let's try again, shall we? Let's find a piece. $140, $139. It still says $139. Huh. Seems odd. Let's find another piece. Although I probably shouldn't trust it if it still says that. I'm trying to find it. Come on, you. This one's saying 167, 165. All right. Check that other piece again, just to be sure I'm not missing anything. $153, $152. Okay, yeah. Couple more minutes at the most, I think, because I want to be sure all this sausage is at the proper temperature. Well, the rolls are done anyway. You can take a look. It's just a little bit longer. I'm not sure if you can hear how this thing is. If anybody knows vinyl record albums, this is what it sounds like, running your fingers or your fingernails over the vinyl grooves of a record album. Because that's actually what this has. It has grooves, although they are much more fine than a record album. I'd say we're getting close to that point by now. And hello to, again, all the folks who are dropping by. At this point, we've got some nicely cooked sausage. So I will empty the pan a little bit. Quickly dig up a little dish for some of these sausage pieces. Come on, you know what. That should probably be enough. There we go. And the rest will go in the gravy. Which means, let me first bring this over to someone who will eat it. Gravy. All right, now comes the fun part. And where did I put my knife or fork? There we go. Time to throw in some butter. Yeah, you can tell I'm a New Englander because I just threw in some butter. There we go. And that at least helps to scrape these bits off the pan. Go. Now that the butter is, there we go, now it's all melted. Time now for the flour. Got to be exact with your flour measurements when making gravy. See? All right. Which means we mix it around to cook the flour so that the gravy won't taste like flour. Get this bacon all coated, sausage all coated. There we go, so far so good. And then finally will come the milk. This won't take much longer. While I'm waiting, I'd better get myself some salt and pepper so that I'll have it ready. Because I do believe it is time for the milk. And as they say on Rick and Morty, away we go. One of the amazing things about cast iron is the way the gravy thickens so quickly. See, it already is. So that we are going to need more milk on this. See what I mean? It's already become this thick in only a few seconds. One thing it took me a while to learn, namely that you only need a little bit of flour. You guys can already see that there's going to be a lot of gravy here. Of course, on the other hand, there is too much gravy, said no one ever. Yeah, this is not taking long at all. So far, so good. We might already be at that point, quite frankly. As the saying goes, Mommy, what does s.o.s mean? Spoonful of sugar, honey, just like Mary Poppins. That's not what Daddy said. Maybe another dash of milk. First comes the salt and pepper. You see how this is bubbling so fast and it's become thick again? In fact, I can even turn down the heat or maybe even turn off the heat. But a little bit more milk. And then I think we will have gravy. Okay, I know. It wouldn't be my kitchen if I didn't spill something. However, I'd say this is plenty of gravy. There we go, sausage gravy. And with that, we are again pretty much done. So let's dig ourselves out a plate. Yeah, you too. Put a couple of biscuits on it. There we go. In fact, I'll be careful, that's hot. Break these open. There we go. And with that, in fact, I gotta get another spoon for this to serve this. Yeah, there we go. The gravy's at a nice consistency right now. Some nice thick pieces of sausage. And voila. Here is our biscuits and gravy TikTok. Let's put this over here. So there we go. Not bad for a Friday night supper. Fast, easy, and cheap. Just like my morals. Made in a nice USA-made cast iron skillet. Who could ask for anything more? All right, but there we go. We've done our biscuits and gravy, so I appreciate everybody who's been kind enough to stop by. Besides, I'll be posting this on YouTube anyway, so you'll have a chance to watch it there. But thank you very much, everybody. This really wasn't hard at all, and I hope it kind of inspires somebody to try doing this themselves, because it is certainly worth it. My mouth is watering. All right, I will talk to you later, TikTok. Have a good evening.